Welcome to Thursday's Market SITREP here at Top Gun Options. My name is Matthew Buckley, Chief Investment Officer here at Top Gun Options. My call sign is Wiz. Just got done our vol arb trader Doug Robertson's advanced live trade brief. Nice Netflix pre-earning trade, some NVDA. Talked about a VXX hedge as well, kind of like my VXX Tredge that we covered the other day. Real quick, if you haven't had a chance to attend any of our full throttle sessions this week, or you need to watch any of the replays, pretty easy to find. Go.topgunoptions.com/FT, stands for full throttle, replay, and you can see all the trade, the live trading, and training that we did all week. Quick reminder, we only have 50 slots open, and they are way past halfway full. So here's where you need to head. Go.topgunoptions.com/FT, stands for full throttle -now. Or actually, you know what, an easier one is just get FT. How about that? Get full throttle. And it just redirects to the one I just gave you. So like I said, once we get our 50, we're done. We'll get airborne. We're going to be airborne without you if you don't grab one of your slots. We'll have a special announcement tomorrow at 1 o'clock during our debrief and our weekly options brief. If we don't fill all of our annual slots, I'll make a special announcement tomorrow at 1 o'clock. But we're filling up quickly, and obviously the Max Afterburner track is the best way to go because you get access to everything we do here at TGO. It really is a clown car in New York this week, folks, with the United Nations. You had the Iranian president yesterday smacking around Trump. You had Prime Minister Abe, more or less saying, hey, we're going to war with North Korea. General McMaster says Trump's going to make an important announcement in North Korea today. Not that we're going to war, but more or less with respect to sanctions. I'm telling you, folks, I think, and the vice president was quoted as saying, hey, I spoke to the Chinese commanding officer and said, hey, you guys really need to sit on North Korea. So we're getting around that point in time, folks. I've been predicting this for a while. It's an October surprise. We don't have to worry about the debt ceiling. Trump outmaneuvered Ryan and McConnell, the two idiot Republican leaders, and made a deal with Democrats. So the volatility of a debt ceiling debate in October is gone, but I really think North Korea is going to come to a head right around there. Big much ado about nothing yesterday. The Fed meeting, matter of fact, the big unwind from the Fed, starting to unwind their balance sheet, is bullish for bank stocks. Our Morgan Stanley position, JP Morgan positions, still looking very, very good. But good article in the Journal. The Federal Reserve's plan to start shrinking its balance sheet will benefit banks in multiple ways. I'll talk about this during my live trade brief next week. But as I said, I've been predicting this for a year and a half, folks. Get in the financials. We timed it perfectly before the election, with many, several of our members making nearly $150,000 on one Goldman Sachs trade recommendation last year. That was pretty shit hot. Love that. But guys. I know a broken clock is right twice a day, and I'm usually Dr. Doom. You need to be as either a fighter pilot or an options trader, folks. Why? Because you need to plan for a lot of things going wrong, so when it doesn't, you're pleasantly surprised and happy. If you're running around this market whistling zippity-doo-dah and you get your ass handed to you, you're going to be miserable and you're going to be broke, okay? So that's why you make sure you watch the replay from yesterday, where I talk about a trade and a hedge on VXX. And Doug talked about that today because, man, there are so many warnings out there from investor confidence just at crackhead highs. It's all hat, no cattle, meaning that's a Texas term, meaning, all hat, no cattle means you're acting the part without having the stuff underneath it to back it up, which is a lot of this market. Valuations, we know we're way overstretched. And stock buybacks, folks. Remember, the number one buyer of the S&P 500 for the past couple of years has been who? The S&P 500. And remember that share buybacks, when Apple or any of these guys do a lot of share buybacks, it artificially inflates their earnings per shares. Real quick, folks, if you don't understand that, read this. If a company earns 90 cents per share, okay, and let's say they have 1 million shares outstanding. Let's say they buy 100,000 of those shares, right? And there's 900,000 left. That artificially increases the EPS to $1. So guess what, folks? A lot of CEO, CFO, a lot of C-level suite compensation and bonuses are tied to what? Earnings, right? So who wouldn't be using, what type of CEO, he or she would be an idiot if they weren't using this type of near zero rate interest environment to buy back, to use some cheap money to buy back their shares. So there's a lot of warnings, folks. Lower spending on share buybacks. I briefed this about 2 months ago. One of the canaries in the coal mine is a lot of companies are starting to throttle back the buying of their shares. So a lot of potential warning signs out there, as guys. Bulls have become completely desensitized to risk. Not a good thing. I'll talk tomorrow about my Apple bull put spread I put on the other day. It did hit the eject level. I'm opening the canopy, chomping on my cigar with my scarf out, folks. This is one of those ones where the reason I put the bull put spread on where I did is because it's a key technical support area. Now, Apple, what did they have? Some, wireless. There's a Apple acknowledges cellular connectivity problem in new watch. The watch sucks, folks. I think I've seen 2 or 3 people wearing this thing. It's a nice to have. It's not Apple's core business, folks. Take a look at Apple's core business. They're fine. All we need is the Swedish, one of those S's, national bank to step in and start buying here the Swiss SNB. So I'm staying in the Apple trade for now. We'll debrief that tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Real quick, if you're not out of the weekly options, SPX bear call spread I sent out on Monday. I take a look at that. Look at this. We put out the bear call spread on Monday, and it's if you're still in the trade, I sent it out, it's up about 75%, maybe about a $1,500 gain. The market tends to sell off into the close on Fridays, because weekends are crazy now with potential war and everything like that. So if that trade expires worthless tomorrow, that's over $2,000 gain on one weekly options trade in 1 week. What did that do? Well, Uncle Wiz paid for a full throttle defensive slot right there with one trade. Okay, men lie, numbers don't. One trade this week could have paid for a defensive annual slot. Okay, so not sure what you're waiting for. If you wait too long, we're going to get Airborne Monday without you. So head to go.topgunoptions.com/getft and grab your full throttle slot, okay? I got to run. Have a great rest of your day. I'll have the replay from Doug's session up here on the replay page shortly, and he'll get his summary out to you guys as well. I'll see you tomorrow for a potential special announcement at 1 o'clock, so have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless.